I need to
This is not the notepad you were looking for?
Mm-hmm.
This was not the notepad we were looking for.
Okay, this. Wait, hey, where'd it go? Hey, I like that better. I like that better. Shit.
Shit.
No, not that one. Not that button.
Why do I not have
Eh, eh. This one. This one.
All right.
Ah, ah,
Except the drop.
aha.
So, intro time. I'm not recording these because it's a fucking 4-shot, 5-shot, whatever the fuck shot. Who gives a shit?
Mhm.
Uh, if you die, please sit with your dick in your hands. Yeah.
I mean,
It is the punishment.
what if we're already sitting with our dick in our hands?
As you were then, soldier.
Assume the position.
Whoa.
Hidden behind mountains and other elevations within the great desert of Talcogor, lies a pack of dead trees. Around these dead trees, creatures serpenting in and out of the shadows. A few scorpions about the size of 2 houses, pining left, looking right, seeking their next prey. The deserts are dry. Not much food to go around, but one will shudder as a shadow falls upon it. If it had much sentience, it would look up in amazement, seeing the floating kingdom of Talgagor, a gift from the High Kingdom of Zamaris, a true feat of arcane ingenuity mixed with what's that one word? Fucking. We're off to a great start.
It's alright, man.
D&D engineer. D&D engineer class. What's fucking
Artificery?
Yes, mix of arcane mastery and artificery. On this floating kingdom, the Arakakra stand tall and proud. Their wings as graceful as the skies themselves, and the winds that unfurl beneath them. On this floating kingdom, we find ourselves at a bar, as we most often do. Not much a tavern or a social gathering place, where our first 3 characters will meet. Let's start with Calcifer. Care to introduce yourself?
Sure. So, Calcifer is an Earth Genasi, but his brownish skin has been tinged with green in certain areas. He's got a pretty unruly mop of ginger hair on his head that occasionally little bits of glowing pollen or magic or something fall off of it. He's got on basically looks like culottes of a sort, but just like the top half, leaving bare calves and feet. He's a little bit rambunctious, a little bit yeah.
I thought you cut
A
out.
little bit mischievous, but he's maintaining himself very well. He's got a pack and a messenger bag and a curious-looking badge. He's got a staff that looks like almost like a miniature version of a tree, and a few freckles right below his eyes. It seems to have a... He's either very observant or he has a short attention span. It's hard to tell. But either way, there he sits.
All right. Chili. I don't know how to pronounce this name, but would you care to take the next seat?
Ollie!
Yeah, Charlie.
It's
Jolly.
Charlie.
Totally. Anyway.
It's like
my-
Jolly, but chili.
Oh shit, she actually went with Charlie. That's great.
So my character's name is Raylan Delam. She is a wood elf with druid aspects. So, I chose this character to be I'll just say it now, in this circle of the harvest. So she is more of an avenger of the various terrains, kind of almost like maybe like a sheriff. They kind of try to imbue the righteousness of the land and the respect. That's what they try to anyway. I tried to be optimistic and see both sides of the spectrum. Not always there because I tend to judge harshly myself. Because of the form that my character has taken, it tends to be a little more off-putting and more just kind of RBF face all the time.
I'm sorry, I don't understand this jargon. What does RBF face mean?
Really?
Resting a bitch face.
Yep.
Ah, okay, so it's like ATM machine then.
Sure.
I had to.
So my character, what I chose my character is to have more of a grayish hue to their skin, but it seems to have other colors floating depending on said environment. So if we are like in a grass or a wooded area, it might be a little bit more greenish brown, mostly gray, but have like an undertone color maybe. If we're closer to water, maybe blue, near molten lava fire, reddish, etc. in that aspect. My character is more interested in just kind of more of a trickster. I think that's the word I'm gonna kind of go with, because like I said, I have that said face and just role I was kind of born into, but yet I still try to make jokes and laughs, and when people or things annoy me, I just make them disappear with a couple spells. Just like, had my fun, or you're an inconvenience. Boing, bye.
Sinut, please grace us with your presence.
Mm,
You fucking isekai protagonist.
So walks into the tavern a average height male half elf with we'll go with dark black hair and very dark black, actually pitch if you would. In any case, black hair and some startling cyan colored eyes with a slightly crooked nose. Maybe he's been hit in the face one too many times, though the rest of his face is, shall we say, annoyingly symmetrical.
Hmm.
He is clothed in what looks to be, or what looks to have once been, fairly expensive light leather armor, but now seems to be both soaked and singed at the same time for some reason. And as he kind of swishes across the tavern floor, you can just hear his boots squishing slightly. And he does not look too inconvenienced about the fact, but you could probably imagine that there's some chafing going on, and there's like, maybe his face twinges a couple times as he steers himself to the bar. On his belt is what looks to be like an oversized hilt of a sword with no blade. So think like the hilt of a great sword, shall we say. And there is a distinct necklace hanging from his neck, made out of with a crystal pendant on it that, if you were magically inclined, you could tell was a focus of some kind.
I should well place your orders by the bar. The person standing behind the desk, young elven man, introduced himself. Hey, I'm Eric. I moved here recently. This isn't where I plan to stay, but I've got room and board as long as I work. And I figured from one of the academies. This is one of the academies graduating. How do I have mush mouth? Really? Today? Okay. Um, the Academy's most esteemed graduate frequents this bar often, so I'm trying to leverage that to get in. They don't like us here. What can I get you?
We're all at the bar.
I would
Whoa,
assume so. Are any of you not?
Okay. No, I'm just. That's fine. Just double checking.
that's quite the life story you've got there, friend.
Oh, not even
Um,
close. I should tell you about the time my sister got lost.
it's really not necessary. I actually quite appreciated the whole. It's a nice touch. It's a nice touch.
Oh,
I
really?
was just hoping. Yeah.
I figured a fellow elf would love a story back from the Boundless Plains.
Half elf, and definitely not from the Boundless Plains at all. I know where those are, though. In any case, you wouldn't happen to have a spot by the fire, maybe a room for, say, 5 nights?
5
And,
nights I could be for, yeah.
um,
Spot by the fire,
well,
you might have to fight.
say again?
Spot by the fire, you might have to fight.
Ah,
He'll
I'll
gesture
probably
over.
just change
Some
in my
drunken
room.
patrons starting to rouse and rumble in the open area by the fire.
Well, in that case, get me something light. I'm not familiar with the tastes and brands around here. Just something that would allow me to fight for that spot in front of the fire. Should I need to?
Gotcha. So not on your ass then. He'll kind of shuffle backwards, get you a mug of something kind of crisp and golden, foaming at the top.
And Dylan will reach into his jacket and pull out what looks like to be a very small ingot of gold and just place it on the table.
Kind of take it, look at it, look back at you, look down, put it away, not really knowing what to do with it, but not being confrontational enough to ask you for actual money.
I will some change, please. I can't imagine that.
Of course, sir. And he will hand you back 2 pieces of gold and 5 silver.
Lovely. All you have to do is. All right, and with that, I'll just kind of lean back in my seat and train my gaze on the people tussling by the fire, seemingly looking for like a moment to like step in and claim my territory.
Yeah. As you do that, young Eric will look at Calcifer, avert his gaze, and then go to the other elf. Hi, ma'am. What can I get for you?
You got a woodsy cider?
A woodsy cider. Tell you what. Generally, the Arakakra, they don't like anything woodsy, but because I'm here, we've got a little bit of something in the back. Let me get that right for you.
Alright.
Runs back, gets it. That'll be 1 gold.
Is he like bullshitting me? Hold up there. Like, oh, you said it very.
Do you want to roll an insight check?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure. I want to make sure he's not like bullshitting me with some like backyard piss or something. Like.
Oh yeah, sure. Roll for it.
Oh shit. Okay.
13. Wow. You look at it. Being elven and coming from the Boundless Plains, this is basically their most famous export. It's not like the best, and you coming from that area, you know that a lot of other ales or a lot of other alcohol from there tastes better. This is just probably the only bottle that's gonna make it this far out.
Fair enough. Alright, I pay up.
Alright. And the up is paid. Gonna kind of dance around Calcifer a little bit more, kind of hoping someone else is gonna take it. Eventually, no one gets to it, so he'll walk up. Hello, you. What could I get you?
You.
UD high? Fantasy? No.
Holy shit! It's Failure's first crossover. I'm so excited. I'll look toward him and cock my head, kind of like the way a predator would do. Hi, you're cute.
Gonna stumble backwards a little bit. Oh,
Dear. You're
um,
And I'm
I
gonna
don't-
prestidigitate to make some wind blow in his face.
Oh my god.
he's gonna look up all flushed and shit as everything kind of goes. He's like, huh? Hi.
Yeah. So I can do magic. And
A lot of people here can. Actually, so can I. He'll snap and sparks.
oh wow, that is less impressive than I thought it was gonna be. Well,
Oh,
anyways,
wow, what a dick.
Sorry.
yeah. Well, I tell you what, you can make your apology with a crisp, cold glass of ale. That'll be great.
Just ale? Nothing specific? I'm getting there, Sinnoh. Give me a second.
Something earthy and floral?
Earthy and oh my. So many orders today. It's just nothing airy. Nothing Arakaka based. These people would not like your import decisions. And he will shift his hands a little bit, mutter something under his breath, and say, hopefully this impresses you more, and then the entire cask of ale will float up behind him, pour itself into a glass, and then the glass will fall gently into your hand.
Ooh. That's not bad at all. What time do you get
It's
off
only
work?
a 5th level spell.
It's
Oh,
only a 5th spell.
3 hours after you fall asleep?
Okay, I'll set an alarm.
Oh,
You know, like the spell.
okay. And he's gonna stare at the ground. Wait. And he's gonna kind of like cock his head and question mark ping you at that one.
yes.
I'm just gonna
The
have a drink.
patented D&D question mark ping.
I mean.
I'm just gonna busy myself with my drink. I'm done with him.
Alright. As you're all busying yourselves with your drink, some of you with your eyes on the glistening muscular bodies by the fire, others of you just staring at your glass, I'm sure. You'll notice one Aarakocra walk in, hastily make his way, kind of with a bit of a poise, shoulders back, head held high, make his way over to another one in full armor, kind of pinch at him a little. The armored one kind of bakes him off, turns around, and then stands at attention, like straight up gets off of his chair, knocks it backwards, and like stands tall. For the first, Aarakocra shuffles him into another room. The two people at the center near the fire, starting to duke it out. One more metallic in nature, almost. You can see parts where the skin is torn off, and all that's left behind it is seemingly a steel type metal, getting beaten down and pummeled by a giant, dark, almost monstrosity with wings. Behind the bar, as Eric kind of brings up the gold nugget to his boss, and his boss starts chewing his ass out and like, get over here, and pulls him into a back room before you hear more muffled but definitely louder screaming. What are you all doing?
Oh, I am completely enraptured by that. I'm gonna keep an eye out for somebody to sidle up to, though.
Oh, that won't be too hard. Having said that, 80% of the bar is bird people. So, what are your preferences? What are your tastes?
Dylan is also watching the spectacle with raised eyebrows, leaned back against the bar.
Which spectacle?
Oh,
I came back to hear about some big, tall, black dude beating the shit out of people, and that sounded like a spectacle to me.
There's an ASMR kicking the shit out of Samas.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm totally watching that
Oh yeah.
with raised eyebrows while sipping on my drink, leaning it back
Oh.
against the bar.
What would the third player have to say?
Chili.
Hey, Charlie.
yeah. I'm just sitting there with a poker face, but I'm sipping my drink watching.
Poker face. Poker face.
All right.
Poker face, my poker face.
From across the room, how would you describe this? A humanoid creature standing pretty tall, almost 2 meters,
Oh, what the fuck?
in relatively drab clothing, with a few kind of almost arcane traces, silver light illuminating from them, running up and down his robes. The hood was pulled, but now he's starting to lower it. He makes his way over to Calcifer and Raylan. Why, hello, you two. Might I interest you in a game of cards?
Okay. Yeah. What do you use for cards?
Well, and he will magically produce a deck of 40 or 52 playing cards. The standard deck, of course.
Oh, that's
What's
new.
your game? What's your game of choice?
I enjoy liar's poker.
Ooh, I'm good at that.
Oh, you're good at that, are you? You know, where I come from, the Carls are a hard-fought race. So we're a hard-fought house, and we're never beaten in liar's poker. Would you care to test your luck?
Yes, I would. Come on, let's go.
Alrighty then. And you, little lady?
I'll follow along. I'm just kind of curious. Maybe asking along the way. What's the entrance fee?
There's no buy-in, but well, if you want to play, you gotta ante up. You lose what you lose.
Oh, I like ants. They're very industrious.
Oh my.
Dear.
They are
Oh.
whole colonies of them just
Ain't
tunneling
nobody
under
else saying anything.
those deserts.
Mind if I watch around first?
Yeah, of course. Go for it. Be in awe, and he will sit down at a 2-seater table, place the deck of cards in front of him, and gesture for Calcifer.
I'll perch on the seat. And
Ooh. Well, you're gonna fit right in with the locals here, aren't you?
what? Why? I don't have a beak. It'd be kind of cool if I did. I could give myself a beak. For like a few hours, but you know.
Sure thing, bud. I'm just gonna look around at other people, kind of some sitting, some like perched at the top of their chairs, kind of doing this precarious balancing act like they're in a fucking circus. See that one? That one's almost trapeze artist. But yeah, you know how to play.
Yeah, well, just give me a reminder real quick.
Right. So, and as they fade into explanation, you can choose to either play by luck, which would be charisma, or to play by sleight of hand, which would be dex, I believe. Well, yeah, it's
Alright,
a 1d20 roll plus what?
I guess I'm doing dex.
All
Can you
right.
do it in the all chats and not in the like DM chat? That way I can kind of follow along.
Sure.
Yeah, you are watching. I
Roll 'em.
suppose that's... Alrighty.
Yeah.
Nice. Good strong start.
Perfect. All right, so he'll lay the cards out. You'll draw yours. You'll place yours. Looks like I've got a bit of a winning hand. But I'll tell you what. If you can match this, go all for nothing, and he'll place a magical focus on the table worth about 250 gold.
Jesus.
Oh. How much? I got... Okay. Yeah, sure. 250 it is.
What's your bet?
Can I just put down 250 gold pieces, or does it have to be another item?
Sure, you can put that down.
Okay.
You have that much?
Yeah, failure said do whatever. You're level 13, so I did whatever.
Yep.
Did you not
You
give
all could be
yourself...
rich as fuck if you want.
Did you not give yourself any magic items? Because I did.
I
Chili?
chose. Yeah, no, I did not.
Ah, what an honest player.
I am, because I didn't.
Yeah. Honest to the point of self-damaging. Alright.
And
As you put the 250 gold on the table, you'll notice behind Carl, the glint of another human's eyes as he watches you kind of place these things on the table. We'll return to Carl.
Yeah,
Well, it's quite the load of cash you'll be carrying around with you. Got a story behind that?
people give me things when I do stuff.
I bet. One of those adventurers I hear so much about?
More like a steward's employee.
Mm.
But sure. Yeah.
What kind of steward makes enough money to hire an employee? Goddamn. We should have this in the Empire.
Well, he's got his own little sort of like area to run. Have you ever heard of the Feywild or the Shining Man or anything like that?
Not the Shining Man specifically, but I've heard a little bit about this Feywild. I think well, my boss is doing business with them.
Oh. Well, I like him already. We don't really use this stuff, so whenever I come here, I just kind of don't really care, you know?
No need to explain yourself. Alright. Let's play for it.
Yep. If I can do...
You're gonna get a magical dagger, aren't you? Or a fucking focus, 250 focus, aren't you?
Why is this not... Alright.
That's a save, that's a save, that's a save.
Yeah, but I'm not proficient in it, so it's just a d20. I don't know why I have advantage.
Fuck! Oh, it's advantage by default. We just take the one on the left, so I can
Okay.
watch you guys squirm as you see what was on the right.
So guess what I'm getting?
Yeah. He'll kind of glumly look down, shift the focus over to you, say, "Tell you what, I've got an even better bet. Why don't we?" And then you'll watch as the human that was behind him, whose eyes kind of glinted at the gold, and I'm kind of pull on his shoulder, lean over, whisper, and as the Aarakocra, the two Aarakocra that got pulled into a side room, walk out, the humans kind of scatter and disperse. All right, what are you all doing?
I'm looking around quickly, like trying to figure out what changed so suddenly for everybody.
Yeah.
together.
Roll me. Okay, yeah, we'll make that perception. Actually, what's your passive perception? You might not need to roll.
19.
Yeah, okay, so it was very deft. The human at the back
You're all level 13, by the way.
the human at the back got a little nervous by the two Aarakocra coming out, specifically probably the one in full armor.
I'm gonna
Actually, with a 19, you'll even notice that Eric, your little server boy, is eyeing up the man in the armor as well.
I'm gonna slowly inch my way back, like against like a wall where I can see everything in front of me, maybe. Just kind of nonchalantly, just kind of lean against it with my drink, just kind of, still
You
nearby, but you know.
you step away from the bar, make your way past the two idiots beating the shit out of each other. As you walk past, you'll notice you irritate someone a little bit as you break the line of sight between them and some weird half-elf motherfucker that's kind of wet, sitting in at the bar. He looks a little peeved that you broke his line of sight, but whatever. You'll make your way past that, kind of put yourself against the wall. There's one other robed figure. I've said rogued out of instinct. Robed figure with his hood up, also choosing the same wall as you, leaning on that. And you will observe, I guess. Synod, or Dilon, rather. The fight, the Azamar was winning. The Dark Man was beating the shit out of this creature. The skin slowly peeling off of his metallic sinew, I guess you would say. But after a while, the metal doesn't give, and the robot will catch a right hook, kind of add a lot of pressure, bringing the arm lower and lower. They'll kind of hunch over each other, and you'll watch as this robotic man kind of leans over, whispers something in the almost dark elf's ears. The eyes of this winged creature kind of go wide a little bit before he looks at the floor. You can kind of make out an apology drop out of his mouth before a knee comes up to meet his chin, followed by one elbow to the top of the head, a second elbow, and then a third before the Asimar goes down.
Yeah.
No one goes to pick him up, and the machine sits by the fire.
I'll just kind of give a slow clap.
At first, there's a bit of silence. Not many people wanting to acknowledge the man beaten onto the floor, but a few of the birds will start chirping along and flapping their feathers, clapping along with you.
Now that, my friend, was art. Let me tell you, I've seen my fair share of beatdowns in my life. And, while a little bit on the dramatic side, I will admit, what with the whispers and all that, definitely something to remember. You have my thanks, and barkeep, get this. Do you drink?
On occasion, yes. I do not see any need to call it dramatic. I was merely besting a lesser foe.
And some shit talk too to top it off. Just, really, just beautiful. Yeah, barman, get this man a mug of whatever he wants, and I'll just kind of slide a gold coin over one of the ones that he gave me. Or would it be a silver? Well, it doesn't matter, I don't know.
Yeah. So what are you sliding?
I'm sliding a gold coin over.
Oh, yes, of course. And you'll watch Eric, no longer performing magic, run into the back, kind of come out with a vial of something, and like outstretch his arms a little bit, kind of like putting them as far from him as he can, offering this vial to the machine. The machine will gently pluck it out of his hands, down it. You'll see a spark of electricity fucking go off one of his injuries, before the metal starts to kind of wrap and overgrow and overtake the injury, almost renewing itself. The makeshift flesh not quite coming back, but the dents in in the metal definitely realigning.
I'll just raise like both eyebrows at that, and like, surreptitiously ritual cast detect magic.
The entire room lights up. Your drink lights up. He lights up. A lot of the
Right.
clothes light up. The fire lights up. The fucking lights light up. Yeah.
But if I focus on him, like I know that the room is full of magic, but if I focus on him and what's going on with his, shall we say, skin, what do I notice?
Well, his entire metallic form kind of radiates with a bit of enchantment. There's a little bit left in the vial where you can kind of make out transmutation magic. Roll me an Arcana check. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on. Yeah, it's almost like you should have had this in your D&D Beyond, huh? Or roll 20. Fuck, this isn't there.
Is he nearby? That I
Give
can
me a
assist him?
moment to find some. No,
yeah.
you don't need to. I mean, if you want to figure it out, I just need to, shall we say, jury rig some things together.
Afro engineered.
I am jury rigging things together, okay? I haven't
say
gotten all the way to level
Afro-engineer?
13 yet.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Chili.
Arcana,
You're lucky
and
no
we're
one
level
else heard that.
13. What's the proficiency bonus for level 13?
That's a good question.
5.
Does someone else want to answer?
5.
Hey guys, what's
5.
5? Okay. So we will go with 20 plus 7. Oof, that's a rip right there.
Well, hang on. I said I'm assisting, so what? He gets advantage? Yeah.
Yeah, you do
But,
get an
like,
advantage on that.
I don't know if that's fair, to be
Okay,
honest.
wait. You're right.
We
Chili,
have barely,
how are
like,
you
we've
going to
barely
assist?
spoken. Like, I, not to say that I'm not down for it, but we haven't spoken at all.
How would you assist this, Raylan?
As you're watching
You see
me
a
play a
stranger
card
kind
game.
Yeah, one person's playing a card game. Well, not anymore because the other person ran out of the room.
I have great.
Um,
I have great perception. I see all.
Right, and
Right,
your
but
great
why
perception
would
leads
you
to
be assisting me and how?
a damp man checking out a robot. How are you assisting him?
I am. Find the words I'm looking for.
Gang.
I guess I can see. Can I? Since he's detecting magic, I can see the maybe various flashes in his eyes, right? Maybe I can.
You see him cast a spell, maybe.
But if he's seeing the
Jeez.
different auras of light, right?
Yeah,
Would I be able
but that's
to?
something he's seeing.
Right, but what could they flash through his let's reflect through? I guess I could say. Are they reflecting through his eyes even slightly?
Player's choice. How are you flavoring your detect magic? Sinod?
The sighest of nods.
Player's choice. How am I flavoring my detect magic?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of tracing some runes with my fingers, and they kind of there's a cyan blue afterglow, which matches the eyes that will just kind of subtly start glowing at the same time.
Alright, so
But
Raylan will notice a glowing-eyed damp man checking out a robot.
Okay, so if I see him perhaps focus on one, maybe I can assist in my knowledge in that sense.
Would you also like to check out the robot?
Sure.
Alright. What would you like to check out about the robot?
Oh, fuck. I knew you were gonna ask. God damn it. I was trying to listen. Okay.
I mean, he's screaming this across the room to someone sitting at the fire. You can probably hear what he's saying. Which is basically, "Can I get you a drink?" That was a pretty, like, dramatic
Baller
beatdown.
fight. Yeah.
Um, I'm not good at this Arcana shit. Dang it. I was just trying to be helpful.
What are you looking for?
I appreciate it, Chili, but it's okay. Sometimes you just have to bend to, shall we say, the role play.
It's good to help. It's not always feasible.
That's fine. Well, fine. I'll just stand there and keep just watching you just figure out what the fuck he's doing then. How's that? I'll just watch. That's fine.
You watch as this weird damp man is staring with glowing eyes at a robot. Weird damp man, what do you do with a 10 that gets you nothing? You get
I'll
that
just
he is a
gonna-
magical creature.
I will shrug my shoulders and go back to my drink because I was not actually all that interested despite
Aw.
casting detect magic. It was just a passing curiosity where I was like, how does that work? I've never seen that before. And then I was like, can't figure it out. Okay, better go back to drinking.
I'd say it does last 10 minutes, and you
Like me with
focus
coding.
more on your drink. That's brutal. Focus back on your drink. The magical properties become a little bit more clear to you, and as you take another sip, you realize your body feels lighter, almost as if the ale of choice here is imbued with almost an essence of wind. I'll give you that.
Ooh.
Fair enough. I'll take it. Essence of
Alright.
wind in my ale. Slurp that shit down. Like it's
Alcifer, your opponent left you with 250 gold on the table and a 250 gold worth focus. What are you doing? They seem like they were in quite the haste to get the fuck out.
I'm going to.
Yeah, it's
I'm
shiny.
going to examine it for a moment.
Alright.
I'm going to throw the gold back in my purse.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then
The focus you hold in your hand, the central crystal kind of has a runic engraving on the top of it. Not anything you'd be too familiar with, I don't think, at least. On kind of opalescent pearl, about the size of a fist, crested and gilded with gold and platinum that kind of spirals into the
Jeez.
bottom, very, very neatly into your hand.
And that's only 250 gold here. Okay. Alright.
Yep.
That's really pretty. Wonder if I can make some flowers to go on it. That'll make it even better.
True.
I'll
Would you like to try?
yeah, I'll try and druid craft or do something with that. Yeah.
Yeah, almost like the focus responds to you and is trying to make your magic more effective. Some of the platinum kind of fades, and as it's starting to kind of crack and bend, it bursts into bits of green light.
Ooh.
From those spaces, some vines start to take shape, out of which whatever flowers of you're choosing may grow.
Alright, I'll do carnations. Those are nice.
Carnations they will be then.
Okay. Oh, it's getting better already. Can't wait to bring this back. And I'll shove it in my bag. And are they done? Or Tweedledee and Tweedledum done screwing around by the time I do all this?
Tweedledee and Tweedledum being the fighters, the
Yeah,
Aarakocra
being the
or
players.
the humans.
Okay, I'm gonna try and find if there's any sort of Aarakocra around that even remotely resembles a peacock.
Ah! Well then, you look around and while there may not be a peacock, there is kind of an eagled Aarakocra, a beautiful beak. It seems like they Roll me a history check real quick. Let's see how much I can give you here.
Okay, George. Not great.
Fuck all. Okay. Um, they seem like they are adorned with a lot of peacock-like features on their clothing, almost like it is part of a house that they are affiliated with. Some sort of like status of nobility almost. The kind of eyes that are on the feathers of a peacock, all over the back of their very, very nice. I don't want to say blazer, old timey blazer. No, very nice sash.
Oh.
Kind of, you can with a closer look, the sash is definitely a higher quality, made of silk. The sash falls over a middle-aged Arakocra.
Does he have a drink?
He does not actually, and it looks like he's starting to make his way for the door. If you want to cut him off, that would be your time.
Let me see if I have charm person. Hold on.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah. Oh. I'm gonna. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut him off, but I'm gonna pass right past him. I'm not gonna stop. I'm just gonna give him a
Sure.
look, and I'm gonna run a hand through my hair so all the little motes of magical Feywild pollen come off. And I'm just gonna walk right past him as he goes to walk out. See what happens.
That's a charisma save.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not actually casting charm person. I
Oh,
wasn't
okay,
serious.
okay.
I wasn't serious. Just ye old flirtationing.
Old school.
Oh, it's old
The Arakocra will kind of watch as you pass by, and you'll see a moment of hesitation almost before their shoulders drop, and they reach out, almost tapping you on your lower arm. Excuse me, Mister.
Oh, hi. Yeah, my name's Calcifer. Did you need something?
Philosopher, I haven't seen much of your kind around here. What denomination of sentience are you exactly?
I'm a Genasi. I'm gonna
A Genos?
throw my hands behind my head and just sort of lean to the side a little bit. Yeah, Earth cast. Yeah, the solid, sturdy, reliable, incredibly attractive and domestic kind.
Quite the show you're putting on. I do appreciate a bit of sturdiness, but I'll tell you what. I've had a lot on my plate today, and why don't we do a bit of foreign exchange? You teach me a bit about your Earthcast, and I'll teach you a bit about all the skies, the wind, and he'll kind of flutter his wings a little bit. All the majesties there are to be seen here in Talgrigor.
Does that include anatomy?
Well, I would hope we could start there.
Perfect. I'll be staying here for a few days if you want to drop by. Or if you have a better spot. Whenever your plate is less full.
I do have a better spot. Tell you what, why don't we start here? And if you manage to keep my interest for, let's say, 2 hours, I'll show you my better spot. Kind of gestures towards upstairs.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, 2 hours. That...
You said you
I
were
usually,
sturdy.
yeah, I usually don't go for that short of a time, but I'll make an exception for you.
Oh, it's an
I'll,
appetizer.
I'll
I'm sure you understand.
I will
You must whet
link
the appetite.
I will link arms and let him have the illusion of leading me upstairs.
He'll go, but because he doesn't have a room, he'll kind of look over at Eric. Eric will nod very quickly and throw him a key.
There you go. Done.
And he will lead you up to the top floor
Mhm.
and open up the largest suite. You will see that the bed there, even though this is a very middling tavern, it seems to be a spot of surprising intrigue, where a lot of people convene of all different walks of life. The top floor houses beds with 4 posts, pretty large, somewhat say king size. The silken sheets kind of laying over satin, and
Oh.
we will fade you to black for a bit.
Okay, so we can still.
So,
So, like Fable. Okay.
yeah, we're playing Fable here.
Okay, cool.
So you two downstairs, you maybe, well, one of you definitely catches this. Mrs. 19 passive perception. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah, that's kind of nutty. Can we talk about that?
Sure.
Can we talk about why you're an isekai protagonist?
I mean, nobody knows that. That is entirely has not been said. And,
Your name is Dylan.
you know, shut up.
Dylan Rubenstein.
Roth, actually.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I saw gold.
That's what I thought. Well, seeing as this person is the more unique out of, shall we say, how are we going to phrase this? How are we going to phrase this? Seeing as looking around, we've got a couple of machine people. We've got a big, tall dude knocked out on the ground, and a bunch of bird people. And then there's this one person
knocked out on the ground. He got dragged out and back.
Oh, he did? Okay, never mind then. He's no longer in the picture, as they say. Well, I guess I'll just approach the strange one. Sorry, that came off wrong. The unique one.
So yeah, as you approach the back wall, there are 2 people leaning against it. One seemingly a kind of airy but darker toned elf, and the other a hooded figure. Which one do you approach?
Charlie.
Charlie, good to know. Okay, so Charlie, you get approached by damp isekai dude.
Yes.
Dayla.
So, you strike me as being somewhat new here. Like myself. Although, correct me if I'm wrong. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a wanderer, sure.
A wanderer, you say? From far off places? Dylan, by the way.
Dylan. Nice. Raylan.
A rhyme. You wouldn't believe how often that happens.
Sure. Anyway, yeah, a little bit here, a little bit there. I've never really stayed in one place to call home. Long enough to call it home. I take myself as the wind carries me.
As you say wind, like 2 Aircopter will kind of like perk up and look in your direction before looking away.
That's admirable enough. What brings you to this frankly, this marvel of artifice and magic.
I'd like to see what I'm curious to see what fuels the population, I guess. What fuels what's their drive here for their use of magic or their um maybe their inspiration of how they use it. Whether it's from, items, the earth, the ground itself, or just others, or if it's, for power or for whatever the case may be. I just like learning about different people or creatures' uses of magic.
Oh, well, I hope you're not too disappointed then.
Well, it's only been my first day, so it's just arrived today, so I'm sure there's more to be seen behind closed doors, certain closed doors.
And it's certainly possible. At your words, Dylan has become quite jaded and looks a little like sorry for you almost.
Squeak, 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 squeak,
Mm,
squeak,
mm,
squeak.
mm,
No. They have magical soundproofing here, especially in that room.
especially in that room. Oh,
I don't. Mm,
you're the one
okay,
who said you were interested. Just trying
not
to help
in,
out.
that's why I said certain closed doors. But
Yeah, the door is closed.
Anyway, so Dylan, what brings you near?
Um, I think that we could probably not be more opposite. I'm very much grounded in one place, in my homeland, and I come here in search of particular treasure that I was told I would be able to find somewhere in the depths below. Yes, that's correct. Also, echo.
Echo, echo, echo.
Somebody's echoing.
That's not happening anymore.
Oh, I guess not.
Well, is it literally under the ground, or is it in, say, a darkened market?
Um. Huh. Well, now that you mentioned it, I really hadn't considered that angle.
Chili's
I
in
had just assumed that it would be somewhere in the engine rooms below, as were it to come to the light of day, it would certainly have been noticed.
As you're having your conversation, Eric tries to say something, but meekly kind of whimpers backwards. His boss comes out, slams the bar, and says, "All right, last call, you fucks." Any
Damn.
orders?
Chili's in a bar
If you're
asking
me.
about the dark web.
Alright, continue as you were.
Okay. Not startled, just because just like, oh, it's getting
Oh,
late,
you saw that coming from a mile away.
Yeah. Yeah. Not taken by surprise. Well, I guess most people should be starting to turn in for the night. I might need to go to my room, just kind of go into a little trance, see if I can kind of redeem myself after such travels, since it was not particularly easy to get to this location.
And Dylan will just kind of gesture to his clothes, which are, as previously stated, singed and soaked, and say, I most certainly understand what you mean. And then I'll wish you a pleasant rest, and I guess ponder the idea that maybe what I'm looking for is in an underground market. Really should have thought of asking that. You'd think after all these times... never mind. Have a good night.
Yep, go up to the bar, get a key, and then find myself in a room and kind of Indian style it for a trance, I guess.
Yeah. Customs here are shit. No airport jokes? Okay. Fairport? Yeah, you'll find your way to a room. It's not quite as extravagant as what I described with Slutimus Maximus, Calcifer.
Is there a nest in the room?
There is not a nest, however, there are still feathers that kind of linger in cracks where housekeeping hasn't really gotten to.
Damn.
You'd be a little worried if you had a black light, but, it doesn't really matter. You don't know.
Oh my.
Yeah. So I assume you trance?
Yes, I trance.
That's, what, 4 hours?
Yes.
Cool. This will be interesting.
I am semi-conscious, so.
Yeah. Dillon.
We were drugged, weren't we? We were all drugged and we're fucked now.
Boy, I sure hope so.
I mean, as for you have the option of taking drugs if you wish. You are offered a bevy of them.
Yeah, I'll be doing that.
All right. Cool.
If anybody ever wants to play against type in my next campaign, you can play a cleric of one Samdi. Be great. All right.
I don't know what that means. Roll me a 1d100.
Roll d100. Baron Samdi of the Voodoo Pantheon. He's a cigarette-smoking, drunk lecher. All those
That's
things.
hot.
Yeah, it would be a pretty good cleric idea. 54.
Okay. You didn't roll under a 10. That's good. 54 is pretty standard. I'd say that's pretty middling. You get, your senses feel different. Everything seems new. Mixed with a bit of a heightened arousal, you could say. Sensitive more to the fact that everything seems foreign and all touch seems different. The hangover's a bitch, though, so, we'll deal with that when we get there.
Well, that'll heighten the experience.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. Dion, as some of the pages start clearing out, a few of them heading upstairs, a few of them making their way back out onto the street, you'll notice that the armored man, kind of irritatingly tapping his foot, staring at the stairs as if in disbelief, almost. And he's been doing that for the better part of 10 minutes.
I will grab the last tankard that I ordered at last call, Retcon.
Sure.
And saunter up to him after having found a spot by the fire as people trickled out, and just noticed him and decided, that man seems interesting.
Curious how that works.
Get him, Cyanide.
And I'll just kind of saunter up and lean against the wall and say, you, my friend, look like someone who's been cucked.
Why now? Quite the interesting observation. I would assure you that no such event has occurred. However, I'm curious. I've not seen your face before these.
Oh, I'm just got here today, actually. Ran into a mite of trouble on the way up, shall we say.
Yes. I hear customs can be a bitch. They are like that for a reason, though. We must defend these. Well, not exactly castle, but our territory. There are many who would seek to infiltrate.
Lay it low. Perfectly understand why. But, customs anywhere, in any place, for any reason, just Pain in the ass. Pain in the ass. Do you realize how much gold bullion they took off of me? Ridiculous.
Ah, yes. I mean, surely you were being allowed amnesty, or perhaps you were bringing in an item that might cost you a little.
Well,
All's fair here. I'm sure there was a good reason why such a price was to be paid.
really? 5% taxes on raw gold ingots? Really? That's
Oh,
anyway.
jeez.
Well, most of the gold here is processed already. We have our own.
Should have switched it into currency with that shady dude that offered. Honestly.
At that, he'll kind of like place his hand on the table and lean forward towards you. What shady dude?
No shade, dude.
Well, down on the ground, obviously.
There are still people left on the ground here.
Yes?
He'll kind of lean backwards. Please, could you describe him? Kind of whip out a notebook.
Oh.
Somehow have a quill that doesn't need ink.
Well, looked a lot like the guy that got beat down earlier, actually. I don't know if you noticed that. Glorious fight, really. Just, wow.
Ah, yes. I also very much enjoy watching the people of Zamaris shit kicked out of them. I must say, after what they've done, and what they brought upon these plains, always a well-worthy fight.
That sounds like an awful lot of baggage that I am not sure I want to delve into on my third tankard. Maybe on my sixth.
Well then, tell you what. And he'll wave over the owner. Say, me and my new friend here, we were wondering if perhaps you could you see, I'm still waiting for the counselor, who seems to be a little preoccupied. Perhaps you could host us a little bit more. Perhaps a few drinks. The owner will, without a word, nod and look to you for your order.
Seems my sensibilities have not led me wrong once again. Yes, I'll have. You know what? Surprise me.
Oh,
Anything that you haven't closed down yet.
The owner will kind of squint a little bit, look back at the guard captain. Fuck! What did I just say? Oh,
Okay, I knew. It's okay.
You, but like everyone else did. We'll look back at the armored man, and the armored man will say, "Well then, surprise us with two of the usual." And the owner will make his way off, come back in a surprising amount of time to pour drinks. Two very tall glasses of an almost purplish liquid. The Aerocopter sitting across from you will open his beak. You will see a bit of the kind of implanted armor on his beak, or the lower part of his beak. Kind of open up his gusset and slam down half the drink. At which point, he kind of straightens up, a bit of purple lightning running down his neck under his armor, where it'll settle into a pale blue glow.
Well, that looks positively delicious. This is safe for my consumption, right? Elves and the like.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, it should be.
I kid. Of course it's safe. It's merely a little bit of added kick. Some of the people at the academy made this. Actually, I helped pioneer the research when I was there.
By academy, you mean some kind of magical academy? Yes, alchemy and the like.
Not so much alchemy. We do have an institute, which we refer to as an academy. It's split off into two main branches. The first, the more important, the militant branch, where we train the finest Aerocopter to be both mages as well as true warriors with the blade. And he will kind of gesture at also a sword without a blade, kind of resting gently at his side. The other half more for the peasantry, just focused on the arcane. I'm sure if delved deep enough, there would be some alchemists there.
To your health, then. May you live a long life. And I'll take a big gulp.
To the High Kingdom, and he'll cheers you and finish it before kind of glancing off at the owner, who will start getting another 2 glasses ready.
So, as I was saying, my intuition seems to have led me to the correct place. From your interactions with the dear bartender here, and your mention of some kind of counselor, I presume you're fairly highly placed on the food chain, as it were.
Not so much. I merely do my duty as the guard captain. Talcagor has a lot of enemies, a lot from within as well.
Right. Humble, too, very. What's, if I'm not prying, what's the political situation like here?
Oh, well, the honorable house that leads us currently is being fought by one Councillor Aberdeen. I, myself, must pledge my allegiances to this councillor. I believe he is the right way forward to weed out a bit of the, let's say, more unsavory parts. And not that any part could be seen as unsavory, but when judged against ourselves, there is need for improvement. There is always need for improvement. I believe that my loyalties lie here because this is where they are best served. Other than that, not much, you know. That is as far as I can tell you. Support Counselor Aberdeen.
I see. Well, and Counselor Aberdeen is the one upstairs, presumably getting or rocking the world for someone getting his world rocked. You know, the whole. Yes.
I do not ask much about his pastime since his wife, bless her soul, has left us.
Oh! Oh, terrible tragedy, I'm sure.
Yes, it was quite the story. Should have seen the barracks. No one knew who would go through the brutality of clipping her wings before casting her off to the deserts below. It was a heinous act. One that I still do not rest easy that I have not made right.
God damn. That is. Brutal. Brutal is probably the word for that, yes. I'll remember that in case I ever have dealings with him. Don't mention the wife. Good point, yes.
Oh, if you would be graced with his presence and have dealings with him, do mention his daughter. He is quite the fan. As I'm sure you know, a daughter can be quite Sorry, arcane. Arcane!
Whoops.
I can't help it.
Should we play enemy now?
The misery. No, sorry. You're saying?
Keep that in mind. Now, one last question before I go off to bed, shall we say.
Please. I aim to elevate the spirits around here. Things have been getting a little. There is a stress in the air.
Well, my reasons for being here are not, unfortunately, trivial, as much as I would like them to be. This place seems marvelous, actually. You'd be surprised how many of the places I visit are just, well, pardon the French, but shitholes. You can
Yes.
translate French to any other language if you'd like. We can do infernal. Yeah, pardon the infernal, but shitholes.
Quite.
Um,
Many places can compare to this great floating kingdom.
indeed, and I could imagine that. Well, magical detection on this floating marvel. You can see that he stops himself from saying monstrosity. Um, Floating
Can I see
marvel
that?
is.
Can I see that you were going to say monstrosity? Because if so, we might have PvP.
He starts like he goes and then switches to Marvel. You
Ah,
can tell that he was gonna say something else that starts with an M, but you would have to roll real high on insight to be able to tell I was gonna say monstrosity.
that.
Um,
One sec. Paladins are whiz based. No, I'm
of
kidding.
course,
I'm kidding.
of course. Um, but where was I? Oh yes, magical detection on this uh mystical marvel. It should prove quite a chore, should it not? Say there was an issue with the artificery powering it or whatnot, or some anomaly appeared in the depths below.
Oh, it's all actually pretty well secure. We have engine teams that look after it. They report directly to fucking fucking.
Game
Give me a
fuck.
moment. Ba 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 ba. Right, they report directly to one of the houses of the Chancellor, and everything is kept well secured by the Cloudhammer company.
Hmm.
Not much can
Security's
go on in the
tight. You've got
depths. Yes.
good. So no mention of any uh, anomalous spatial magic at all, perhaps, in recent weeks, months. I can't imagine it would have lasted more than a year.
He'll kind of squint at you. You'll roll me a perception check.
Hey, let's do some more math, people. Da, 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 da. Give me a second. Perception is wisdom, right?
Yep.
Noise. R// 1d20 plus 7. A.
Yeah, you'll notice him lean forward, like you very much piqued his curiosity. Um, Before he steels himself, kind of readjusts himself a little bit, looks you dead in the eye and says, "Nothing of the sort. Everything is going swimmingly."
Well, I'm sure that they are going swimmingly. I've heard no tales to the contrary, but I must warn you that if, uh, shall we say, you had detected some anomalous spatial magic in the depths below, that I could help. And
Pray tell, how are you qualified? If we were to perhaps have a slight, how would you word this, inconsistency in our reports, what could you do about that?
well, were this anomaly to exist, and I'm not saying that it does, I would imagine that you might be dealing with some, at first, minor tears in the fabric of reality, small in size, probably no more than an inch or two to begin with. Um, Occurrences of random teleportation once the anomaly grew, I doubt you would have seen any void beasts yet, but I'm sure it's possible. What else? Random cases of amnesia, surprisingly enough. People disappearing, coming back, no memories, changed personalities, that sort.
Well then, Mr. What did you say your name was?
Dylan Roth.
Dylan.
Nice to meet you, Mr.
My name is Rach Ironbeak. Ironbeak more given to me as a title, as you can probably tell. He'll gesture towards his beak. Um, you said you only got here recently?
Yes, today, in fact. Not even a few hours ago.
Today, in fact. If I were to run your name with the people at customs, would they tell me the same thing?
Well, you know how bureaucracy is, and
Yes, I know
role
that the
deception.
kingdom of Talgrigor has amazing bureaucracy. There is no red tape that cannot be traversed. Roll that deception.
I'm trying to calculate my charisma.
Yeah.
So give me a moment. So I'm proficient, which means I get to apply my proficiency. And then, I have a max charisma. Okay, that's nice. Let's do it.
21. Well then. I guess I can't fault you for that. Ah, yes, they can be a little slow, you know. A lot of trade going around. It gets a little lost in there sometimes. Sometimes takes weeks. I've had one occasion where we falsely imprisoned a man, and a month later, his files got across my desk, and he was telling the truth. So I won't hold you towards anything like that, but I'll level with you. And he'll lean across the table to you. I have a family here. I have a beautiful wife, 2 children of my own, and we've so far only gotten to the first stage of what you were telling me about, and I'm worried. I would not have them grow up in a world people come and go without any rhyme or not remembering themselves. It would break my heart if they or anyone they knew would come back without knowledge of who they were or this great kingdom.
Oh well, that's
Uh,
I assure you that is not a concern whatsoever. Once it progresses far enough, you could say that a few hundred square miles would probably just wink and poof,
roll
and
me
Dylan
a
will just kind of.
check at advantage.
Oh what?
Persuasion check at advantage.
Well.
Same charisma.
Oh right. That's at advantage. Noise.
At advantage, yeah. First one's not looking too bad.
Second one's not
ain't
looking
bad.
too bad either. I've been so lucky that all my rolls have been things that I'm proficient in so far.
My friend, I don't know how to tell you this, and it is almost unseemly of me, but well, my worries as a parent trump my obligations as a god captain. I want to make an introduction for you.
Oh.
He's not going to enjoy this, but could you come upstairs with me for a moment?
Oh dear.
Oh, what?
Are you sure this couldn't? Are you sure this couldn't wait?
What
I'm
did
sure
you
he'll be
do?
down in just a moment.
I'm sure this could not wait.
I mean, look, it could be a matter of yes, it could be a matter of days, but it also could be a matter of months. You know that, like, there's really not that pressing of a rush.
There
I
is that first thing of a rush, though.
oh dear.
500,000 lives at stake here. And that's just the citizens.
Well,
And
possibly
of course,
more when
my
the
own
plane tries to compensate and ripples across space time. I won't bore you with the details, but you're probably looking at more than just the denizens of here. All right,
Good
fine,
sir,
I'll come up
Dylan.
with you.
Thank you. Thank you for heeding my request. And he will start walking upstairs. In a kind of hastened, kind of very heavy stepping. Most of the people in the rooms can hear, which Chili with your 19, of course, you can also hear. But yeah, he's making his way up to the top floor.
I will sheepishly follow behind him and curse myself for not waiting until tomorrow and when I was sober.
Yeah, crazy how what a 23 will do, right?
Yup. Oh man.
Chili, are you gonna wake
I'll,
up to
I'll
this?
explain the shit that I'm talking about later, by the way.
Is there a way I can sneak out and kind of eavesdrop through the door?
Sure, yeah. I mean, you're awake. Roll me yourself. They're heading upwards though, so you'd have to probably be like in the staircase, following them.
Well, average. Ish.
Average. They're not really paying attention to you, right? There's other guests around. They don't really care. It might be a bit of an issue though, as you get up to the stairs, as they get up to the top floor, and you're kind of peeking over the edge of the stairs. You'll watch the armored bird bro slam his fists against the doors. First try, nothing. Second try, nothing. Third try, you'll hear kind of a vacuous boom, before the scream from the other side. God damn it, man! Who could it possibly be? The guard captain will respond, sir, we may need to have. Are you good to come out? Am I good to come in? Give me 2 minutes. The vroom will go back, and all of a sudden you won't hear anything from the other side of the door. 2 minutes will pass. Doors
I will
open.
conspicuously line up behind the guard captain in his big bulky plate armor.
Huge plate armor. Huge plate armor.
Yeah,
very
yeah,
wide.
ginormous.
Very wide.
Enchanted against angry mages plate armor.
You also somehow, because the plate armor is so large, you get advantage to stealth rolls should you choose to roll one.
Oh shit!
That's how big it is.
worked.
Yeah, he's big. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, size matters. Man.
He's never satisfied because he can never go all the way.
Damn.
Yeah. Problem.
But he
I
takes
wish
it
I
like
had.
a man.
Sure. I'll give you that. Yeah, why not?
He's an incel. What are you people doing?
The doors will open. You'll see some hooks on the posts that have not quite been put away. Some rope that kind of hastily shoved off to the side. A fully clothed counselor. Counselor, care to describe your current state? I'm not going to tell you what you are. You're going to tell me.
Right. I'm
You're high, by the way.
Right.
You're also high. Lovely.
I'm enjoying the sensation of silk and satin sheets on my person. So I'm just
On
going to
your
be
person with
wrapped
no
up
further
in,
clothes?
So I'm going to be wrapped up in them toga style-ish. But short, like half my thigh is showing. The lower half,
Ooh.
obviously.
The guard captain.
I'll
will
start over.
lead-
I'll start in the bed, and I'll let you know how it goes as the conversation progresses.
Sure. The guard captain will lead Dillon into the room, close the doors. You'll hear the whoosh once more, and Raylan, you are left to a set of closed doors. What do you do?
Good job, Raylan.
Alright, all you, Chili. You got this.
Yeah.
Do it, do it, do it.
Well, I was gonna try and, like I said, listen through the door. I'm not really sure how thick the door is.
I mean, we've already gone through that. Some of the things on the top floor have, let's say, magical silence because of specific reasons, which I'm sure you figured out.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh, I should have done that. I'm retarded.
Hmm.
Is there any other?
Understandable.
Is there any? Excuse the fuck out of me.
I just said understandable.
Yeah, that's all he said. Yep.
Did I notice any windows to the?
Yeah, coming in, you've noticed a lot of windows, specifically the top floor. This place kind of towers above everything around it. It's not quite a skyscraper, but for the area it's in, it definitely stands a good 10 stories taller. And the top
Windows,
floor
walls,
is
sweat,
a
and
lot of
balls.
windows.
So the
Actually,
fourth-
you notice that you can probably figure out that the room that they are in has a pretty large balcony in front of it.
Oh, okay. Is there a way I can sneak to the balcony?
How would you try to do that?
Is there a fire escape?
There is not, but you do notice that there are 4 more rooms up here. At
Is
least 4
there-
more doors.
Can I see if any of them are unoccupied? And maybe go out those windows to said balcony?
How do you check if they're unoccupied?
Is there... Oh, I know. Can I knock on the door and say housekeeping?
Yeah, you try the first door, you say housekeeping, no response. Would you like to move to the next?
Are you
Well,
sure
is
are
it locked?
nosy?
Is it locked? Am I able to try the door?
You try the door and it's most definitely locked.
That's problematic. Yeah, I'll try the other ones, sure.
You go 2 more doors before someone finally opens it up. This time not quite an Aarakocra, but you'll Okay. How am I gonna do this? You'll see a human, for all intents and purposes, also standing about 2 meters tall. This man seems to be wearing very comfortable clothes, very red and black with lines of gold all across it. The mark. Actually, roll me a history check real quick. Maybe this will make it easier for you. Nope. Okay. You see a golden crest kind of lying around where it is on above his tunic. He opens the door and says, "Yes. How may I help?"
I wish I knew more. Oh, I could have. God, I need to read these spells a little bit thicker. Okay. Just
I mean,
make
you
it
can
work.
take your time.
I feel like I don't think it's gonna be worth my. Well, no, it's a cantrip, so I can do it whenever. Okay. It's an ability check, so I'll use my. Can I use guidance on myself? It's a touch, so just
You're a willing creature.
yeah. So yeah, guidance. So So /R 1d4.
Roll high.
Oh no,
Not high.
not enough. Okay. Just making rounds. Is there anything you need for the front desk?
Perhaps some peace and quiet would be nice. As he's kind of berating you, you can kind of peek in. There's like one odd fellow trying to set up a pretty large gold-crested painting of him above the fireplace. But yeah, that's about all you make out.
My apologies. I will inform the front desk of a do not disturb for this particular room.
Hmm. Do you just randomly check to see if there's something we need, or
Of course,
why are you here?
that's the good services of the. Oh, it's the owner, isn't it? Okay. Just doing the good deeds of the and services of the industry.
Oh, well then, you can go down and do the good service of perhaps getting me your finest bottle of wine.
Will do.
Here.
Will do. And I take my leave quickly. And
And you
I clearly don't return. I just sneak. I just go outside and like look up at said balconies maybe.
as you're looking up at said balconies, you'll notice that uh, it's probably not the easiest to get up there. But with your 19 perception, you'll after a few minutes pass, um, the other humanoid figure will have made his way down and kind of looked around the uh, like the bar area, trying to find someone because I don't know. He just seems like he's in a rush, like he's taking shit from above.
Uh, well, um, I don't even have that. Man, I just have shit. I can't do shit. Hmm. I got nothing. I got nothing.
You've got a lot. I'm looking at literally all of your spells. You have a lot you can do.
So
Wait, what
the
is your
guy,
spell? Oh, cool. I didn't mean to click that.
it's fine, fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. I don't,
That one
yeah,
I did mean to click on.
okay. You're saying I should just become a cloud, just sneak up
I'm
and just.
saying you could. I'm saying I've also left you an option in the bar. I'm saying you could go up and try to do something with the piss guy upstairs. Like that, you have a lot of options here. What do you want to do? How do you want to do this?
I
You
don't
also have
want.
pass without trace. Like,
That's what I was gonna do on the to the balcony, but the room's locked. So like, was
hmm.
that kind of defeated that?
You know, clouds can kind of fit through keyholes.
Yeah, but you'll see clouds at that.
Why do we have to explain this to her?
No one's looking at you, Chili.
Oh
There was
shit,
no
it's a
one else there.
vampire!
There was no
Kill
one
it!
else there.
But I'm
Do whatever you
outside.
want. It's high magic. No one's gonna bat an eye at you casting spells.
A level 6 transmutation for this shit, just to be a nosy twat.
You saw someone telekinesis just before you would drink.
Okay.
I feel. What's your character? Stupid thing again. I feel like
I know.
Raylan is in charge of a homeowners association. Always peeking in windows. What are you doing? You can't. Excuse me. You can't have a banner hanging from the top of your garage. That is not up to code. That's $100 fine.
I'll go back to the bar and see if I can assist the guy who's in a haste or something.
Yeah, okay. So you'll walk back in. He'll look at you and kind of in the start. What were you doing? The good sir wants his bottle of wine, and I am not happy to deal with Lord Varen in a mood.
Oh shit.
Lord,
Um,
the who? I'm
a
sorry, I
member
didn't
of the
get
nobility now knows your
Lord
face.
Baron.
That's fantastic. Good. Have fun with that.
Yeah, forget the name. It's not important. A VIP
The
needs his
title is
bottle
what's
of wine. Now, where exactly would we be finding this?
We want our friend, Lucas? Luke?
Eric.
Fuck. The bartender. Eric!
Poor fucking Eric, man. What did Eric do to deserve this?
Eric has done some shit. You don't know what he's into. You know what kind of porn he watches.
I know exactly what Eric's into. I am his father.
True, not wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, Eric's the guy who's he's the connoisseur when it comes
Is
to
he?
drinks.
And other things.
That wet-nosed fucking spineless creep. Well, an academic he may be. Where would we find him? You work here, don't you?
He was last seen restocking behind the bar. So I'd do.
Alright. You know what? This is not my problem. Here's the spare key. I don't want to deal with him. He knows that I am to do this one last job, and then I am to go return to my quarters. Here's the key. Get him his bottle. And please, for the love of God, don't make my life any harder.
Of course. Never
Whichever
the intention.
God you fucking elves believe in.
Of course, whatever the intention. So.
Alright, he will hand you a key and walk
alright.
off.
So now I gotta get a bottle. Just can I see one behind the bar that looks fancy?
There's some that
know.
look relatively fancy, but with your 19 passive perception, you will notice on the top, like top shelf stuff, is some pretty mediocre bottle of wine from your home plane. You're guessing this is probably not where they keep the really fancy.
Oh my god, this is such a spectacle.
I'm having my fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I use Pass Without Trace to get down into the fancy areas to get a bottle without obviously being detected? To go back upstairs, not causing any more scenes, to let myself in or knock and perhaps maybe no, not knock. Oh, go down, sneak down, get down the bottle, sneak back upstairs, so not causing a scene, people attract my attention. Hand him the bottle, perhaps make sure he falls asleep, I'm assuming, because it's getting darker, right? It's getting like he's needing it to relax for the night, yes. If I'm understanding the timeline correctly.
Roll me a 1d100 real quick. You can definitely get him a bottle of wine. I will leave it up to you how you want to handle everything after you've handed him the bottle of wine. So you're up there in the room, right? He seems like he's just lounging on the couch. He has some companionship with him. And you're kind of just there holding a bottle. How do you want to, like, what do you do?
Is there a serving tray or like a bottle or what is it?
And have
like
whatever you found at the basement.
Okay. I'm looking for like bottle opener so I can maybe casually go over and start opening it.
Sure, are you looking around in the room?
Yeah.
All right. He'll seem a little bit peeved that you're taking so long. After a while, though, you'll find near one of the balconies a nice corkscrew that'll get the job done. And now you have an open bottle of wine.
So can I pour him said glasses and then maybe excuse myself to the balcony?
He doesn't even pay you much attention. You know, you pour his glass, you pour his companion's glass, and he's basically forgotten you exist as long as he has the wine in his hand.
Okay. So I set the bottle, there in front of them without disturbing their train of thoughts and just excuse myself to the balcony.
Sure. He pays you no mind. You're on the
Great.
balcony now.
Great. How far
There's
away?
a 20-foot drop. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you can easily shim your way across to the other balcony, and as you peek in, a few minutes later, give me like half a minute if the two of you want to start your interaction.
Oh shit! I will give you your half a minute.
Yeah, I'm not inclined to stop rubbing satin and silk over my body unless I absolutely have to.
Okay.
Whether in game or in real life.
Well. Alright, I'm assuming all that does not take an hour, so just kind of get myself up to there, maybe lean against the back side wall next to the doors, remain unseen so I can listen in, make sure I'm not missing important conversational pieces. I don't know how else to say that. Like, it's just very like I want to be the Karen listening.
I snoop.
Yeah,
I
eavesdrop.
snoop about in other
eaves-
people's private business.
Yeah.
All right, so are we done giving Chili shit about her snooping?
Nope.
Alright. So as Dylan is led into the room, an introduction is made. You watch as what's his face? Rach Ironbeak waves off fucking Calcifer's presence, addressing basically only the counselor. Counselor, perhaps I have found a solution to our previously discussed problem. This good sir is Dylan. He might just be able to rectify the situation for us. I suggest you have a bit of a talk with him yourself. And he'll kind of push Dylan forward a little.
Right, so I was most definitely planning on doing this tomorrow while sober and having had a better feel of the pulse of the city.
Oh, nonsense, good sir. None of us are sober tonight. You'll look into his eyes, his pupils fucking dilated like crazy.
Well, that makes me feel a hell of a lot better, let me tell you. So, from what I have understood from the dear guard captain here, you have a problem in the depths of the city. Am I correct?
Problem, one could say, but it is being handled. Would you perhaps be able to aid us in this?
Well,
Like he's very fucking
actually, how is it being handled? Would be my first question.
Logistics mainly. We need to sort out the issue with the reports. The engine team seems to be a little misplacing a lot of energy. We don't quite know what's happening. The Cloudhammer group, whatever the fuck they were called, isn't quite up to par. Perhaps, well, I was thinking of giving them a bit of formal training. He kind of like trails off. You get the feeling that he's not very situation. Calcifer will notice that he's not very on top.
He's not very on what?
I see. Just a second. What do you want?
He's not very on what?
On top of a lot of things.
Oh, other than me.
Yeah, that seems to be the only thing you've seen him on top of so far.
I'm gonna slide to the side of the bed and get a drink from what I assume there's a pitcher there.
Oh, there's pitchers, there's like whiskey holder glass things, there's like always full with
I don't know where this
pills.
is in the middle.
There's a lot.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna
I'll
say
figure
that
it
at
out in a bit.
some point okay. While I do that, I'm gonna cast Spider Climb on myself.
Yeah.
What?
You'll definitely draw the attention of the counselor, but no one else really bats an eye. I don't think.
Okay. Perfect.
Granted, you have the counselor's attention.
Give me a second. I gotta help my girlfriend with something.
Yep.
Wouldn't the counselor have his back to me? Or is he?
Oh, he's keeping you in his periphery. He's enjoying the view.
That's right, he is.
During like more serious moments in conversation, he'll look away and purely focus on like the guard captain and this little shit that he brought in to interrupt you. But yeah, so if you want to do something with that time, go for it.
I'm sorry. That was. She did. She knows she has the worst timing in the world.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fine.
It's a power
Fine. I was just explaining the situation to someone that wants to. It's a power play.
It's a power play.
She wants us to know that she could interrupt.
Yep. You know your place. You
Right.
should know your place. And every Monday, she reminds you.
I mean, I guess. In any case, I get enough out of it for it to be justified. In any case, blah blah blah. Where was I? Oh, right. He was basically saying that he was just figuring out the logistics. Well, while I'm sure that bureaucratic pursuits are useful and, in fact, admirable, I think you may be, through no fault of your own, my lord, misunderestimating the gravity of the threat. Dylan kind of stumbles over his words and, like, slurs a couple, and he's, like, clearly trying to sober himself up. Is there a spell to sober yourself up?
I mean,
most people say you can use lesser
Cleanse?
restoration.
cure poison. Yeah.
Or you
Are
can,
you a cleric?
I do
whatever.
I do not have lesser restoration, unfortunately. Or you can what?
He said
Did I
cleanse
cut out?
poison.
Oh,
Yeah.
cleanse poison.
Tons of poison.
Don't have cleanse poison.
If that's what
Don't
he
cleanse.
wants to
Don't
do.
have cleanse poison either. In any case, I think you may have underestimated, through no fault of your own, my lord, the gravity of the threat. You see, I am what they call a seeker, where I come from, and what we seek, apart from the material resources that most enlightened races require to run their civilized societies, is a very particular gem made of a material that we call ceruleum. Now, in my home town, Ceruleum is harnessed for a variety of things and is rendered inert through a series of manufacturing processes. However, raw ceruleum is, volatile doesn't really convey the urgency of having ceruleum appear as it does, in fact, spontaneously appear in as far as we can tell, random locations. When on a stabilized plane, such as this one, Ceruleum will proceed to. There's a lot of theory involved, but it basically rips your plane apart until it reaches a. How do we say? Undetermined specific critical mass, and then detonates, dragging whatever is in the several hundred square kilometer radius in with it, and causing space-time ripples to ravage the rest of the plane should they survive the explosion. I have reason to believe that there is one currently growing in the engine rooms of your beautiful city.
Ah, perfect. An expert. This is exactly what we needed. All right. Well then, as a reward, you may have whatever your heart's desires. Your mission is to extract this ceruleum and place it in the High Kingdom of Zamaris.
Right. No. That's
What
not
do you mean?
what my heart desires is, in fact, to take the ceruleum with me back to my country of origin, as that is what I was sent here to do to begin with.
Well, in that case, you are taking a resource from the High King or the floating kingdom of Talgor. How exactly would you be repaying us?
I guess I would beg to differ. In fact, I would say that I am doing you a service at no cost. You should count yourselves fortunate.
Many fortunate individuals find that they could have perhaps had their own solutions with their own people. You see, I have very, very competent individuals at my side, and he will kind of wave at the guard captain. Okay. You know what? An advanced expedition, we'll call it. You can take a few of your own. And go and get this ceruleum.
Yes.
Did you call it? All right. I would like to. Is it dangerous to observe?
It can be, yes.
Would there be any way of making it less dangerous to?
Possibly, but it's not in my realm of expertise. I was simply given a containment measure, temporary, might I add, that I can use to transport it back where I came from.
Well then, you had better hope your containment measure lasts long enough for me to, use it as an exhibit to reassure the other counselors that the floating kingdom is being kept safe by my diligence. Counselor, you are now above Dylan.
That's perfectly acceptable. If you'd like, I could even explain the consequences of leaving such an artifact unchecked.
Yes, that would be quite. And you'll be interrupted by a bit of sniffing. That would be quite Admirable feat. You watch the counselor kind of lose himself in thought for a moment. Yes, that sounds fine to me. What would you need to get this job of yours accomplished? The
What
bad
is?
odor is wafting upon you now.
Oh God. I'll just kind of sniff around, but people don't actually look up in life, so I'm not going to. Um, and well, a small team would be preferable. Reduces the risk of. Dylan just kind of looks cagey for a moment. Complications. Um, and a map of the engine rooms, really. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but I can sense it pulsing below us. I must stress, though, before we leave, or before we go on planning, that allowing Ceruleum to detonate anywhere on a stable plane is a doom sentence. It, in all examples that we've seen where we were too late to secure the crystal, it has essentially collapsed the plane on itself. Just so that you understand that weaponizing it is a terrible idea. And you are not the first. And that you are not the first to consider that option. God, what is that smell? And Dylan's eyes are watering. It's Dylan, you dick.
I'm sorry, I don't listen to. I don't listen to people who smell so bad. I can't hear anything you're saying.
Yeah, over the smell, I can't hear you.
Fuck it. I'll start
Yes.
prestidigitating clean air. Prestidigitation battle.
Doesn't say you can do that. It just says an odd odor. It doesn't say anything about cleaning it.
Okay, fine. I'll prestidigitate the smell of roses.
Alright,
And waft it up
loses
beneath
your
my
fucking
nose.
soiled clothing. It is a
Okay.
deadlock.
You
You get
can't-
nothing.
Deadlock. Okay. All right. Is this really where do I really need to take it to the next level? Because I'm willing to take it to the next level.
What kind of spell slot you burn?
What?
I'm
I
considering.
don't think levels need to be considered here.
I'm considering a level 4 polymorph.
Oh God. Oh God. Please no.
Alright, well then. You have your priority. Feel free to interrupt me whenever. The council will go on. Yes, your small team can be arranged unless you would like to choose one for yourself. As for a map, I don't know how feasible this is. We can get you general locations and the most used access ways. However, a lot of the depths, we could call them, have not been fully mapped. Roll it. Who's rolling?
It's definitely Dylan.
All right, Dylan.
Wait,
roll wisdom.
I'm doing research at the moment.
No time. There's no
You're doing
time.
that?
There's no time. I've given you just infinite amounts of time.
No, you have not. You cuck.
I have let you talk longer than he talked, actually. Arcus, longer than Arcus has talked, so I think it's very balanced, very fair.
Roll it. Roll it.
Wrote it, Anakin. So I'm gonna look at Spider Climb now.
Wait, is Spider Climb a concentration spell?
Yeah, they're both concentration.
So you drop from the ceiling, right?
Well, is there? Yeah, pretty much. On my way down.
On top of
On
me.
my way down, I will not land on top of him. I'll move to the
You
side
said you were
slightly.
directly on top of
I
him.
will move to the side slightly before casting polymorph, or even as I
Okay.
cast polymorph. I don't care.
Ah, fuck it.
It doesn't
Let's
matter.
just roll it.
He's not.
What is it? Wisdom?
It is a wisdom.
That is 1d20 plus 5.
Oh,
Hey!
come on! Are you kidding me? All right, so I just fall.
Yes, you basically randomly a Genasi just drops next to you. The guard captain will go for his hilt, and then kind of lower his. Dylan, how do you react to this?
Do I do feel the effects of resisting the spell, don't I?
Well, 100%, yeah.
I'll just look down at him quizzically, and then look up at the counselor and say, "I think your bussy was an assassin."
Oh.
I would tend to agree.
I'm right here. I'm not an assassin. I just you had your back to me so many
You
times
are a
if
bussy.
I wanted to.
Hmm,
That's
you're not wrong. I could have been assassinated at any
not-
point.
like a bus.
Like a
Like
Okay.
like you see a bus.
no, like a boy pussy.
A boy. Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. So I'm gonna continue doing that, and you two should really just come back later.
Actually, I would tend to agree with Calcifer here.
Yeah, he would agree with me, and he's in charge. So
Well, considering you've probably been sucking his dick, I'm not surprised. But
okay, bye.
I'm just confused as to what the point of that was. Are you
I'm gonna start
upset
pushing him
that
out the door.
that we interrupted?
Start pushing
Okay,
him out the door. You've had your fun. You've had your words.
Lovely, awesome.
You're
Ooh,
lucky I don't turn you into a snail.
you could try.
I
And Dylan will
could.
just kind of smile at you.
Oh, can I?
Charmingly,
I can't do
disarmingly.
Hits a wall. Okay, all right, and there you go, and
Right.
you're out the door. Okay.
You know where I'm staying, and I'll just kind of like give a nod of the head to the counselor and head
Well, I
to my
might not,
room.
but shortly, the Iron Beak will take
I'm
down
s-
your address.
I'm staying on the level below.
Oh! How many levels below?
More than
I
2,
could-
and it's 2 degrees
Probably.
of separation, so we shouldn't really be talking to him.
Hmm.
Probably.
Is your room
I
right
feel
below
like-
ours?
It could be if you wanted it to be.
That'd be really easy for me to cast Conjure Water.
That would be true.
Or create water, whatever. I'm sure I can figure that out later with some coin and a wink.
In any case,
Okay. Yes.
have a pleasant evening. Rest of your evening, whatever the hell you guys were doing in here.
Door closing.
And I'll step out of the way. Is the guard captain coming as well?
The guard captain's been at the door the moment he saw Calcifer make a play.
I see. And he said nothing.
He's very
The
uncomfortable.
guard captain knows. The guard captain
so
knows.
uncomfortable.
I
Okay,
see.
Great. I'm gonna absolutely pounce the hell out of Arcus.
Hell yeah.
Oh, right. Chili's here. Where's Chili?
I mean,
We're
getting Arcus
Yeah.
will be a little bit more energetic than before as he gets back to paying you his attentions. Yeah. Let's What's Raylan doing?
Fade to black.
No.
I mean, we might not. What's Raylan doing?
As soon as I hear a thud and like the shifting of, I guess, stances where everybody's shifting around, I make a break back towards the ground. I get the fuck out there.
How are you getting back towards the ground?
Right. Alright. Alright.
Mhm.
Um. Well. Now I cast Windwalk
Alrighty then.
and just kind of float. Just kind of wee.
Alright, yeah, no issues there. You make your way back, and you can have your trance.
Wee.
Dillon, I am assuming you are going to sleep. Dillon is preoccupied.
Oui.
Cassiper, would you like to tell us a bit about the play going on?
Yeah, I'll tell you everything I do to him.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh boy.
Oh, hey, are you going back to sleep? Are you going to sleep, rather?
No.
Ah,
Why?
Because that's what failure asked.
because if you were going back to sleep, you were just going to hear about these sexcapades.
I mean, if we're done playing, then
I
I'll
still give you guys a
probably
bit of time, don't I? Unless you
play
want to call it
some
there.
more.
Mhm.
I mean, unless Chili's doing some more stuff or anybody else is doing some more stuff, we've done a day. Seems like a good place to stop. Otherwise, up to you guys.
I'm fine calling it there.
I'm good. Unless there was something else like you really were pushing us to finish today.
Striffy, did you want to go into all these devious acts?
I want to do a little
I
bit.
don't think we need to.
I'm going to do a little bit.
All right.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna mute myself.
I think if we could play a game of League and then call it at that.
I think we can be
So-
serenaded with this tale as we are in queue.
So
But
as
why?
so when I finish with Arcus, I'm going to go down and ask what room Dylan is staying in.
Oh dear.
There's no one really at the front, but you can kind of. You'll make out a bit of noise and you'll follow it to Eric,
Mhm.
putting some things away last minute. He's a little dumbfounded by why the basement door was left wide open.
Yeah.
And he's trying to kind of figure that out, and you'll catch him. He will be very quick to submit the information to you, and yeah, you.
That's right, he
Dylan's room.
does. He's so great. Okay, cool.
Stop bullying my favorite boy.
Does
Damn,
that
this is
have
best
a does his room have a does Dylan's room have a window?
It does,
and a
but
sweat
not
dripping
about
down
me.
his balls.
All right, I'm gonna
More
go
of
to
a
his.
shitty glass.
I'm gonna go to his room. Is there a gap between the door and the floor?
But there is.
All right, I'm gonna make sure the coast is clear, nobody's looking. I'm gonna shapeshift into a milk snake and slide right underneath the door, or a corn snake, or whatever you want to call it. It's a small snake, very thin indeed.
Sure.
And then I will. There's going to be a dresser or a closet or something around here, right? Or
Yeah, there's a small drawer.
is there space underneath the bed for me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna mostly lay under the bed, and then I'm gonna cast pollen spray on him.
What a dick move.
Then I'm gonna then as soon as that's cast, I'm gonna transform back into a milk snake, and then listen to see what happens, and then I'll just leave at some point. But until then,
Alright.
so con
You
save-
hear his sneeze.
Well, actually, I have to roll. You have to roll for what happens to you.
Oh.
So
Do the
Well,
math for
I am-
me, Dave.
Con save, or else for 2d6 poison damage, and then if you fail it, you have to.
Sorcerers are Constitution, aren't they? Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So that adds the proficiency or doubles it? I can never remember.
What is what?
Do
Well,
you
It
add your
adds
proficiency
proficiency
bonus?
if you're proficient.
Okay. Oof.
beautiful.
That's a yikes.
Okay, so now I'm gonna roll a 1d4 to determine what sort of allergic reaction you have. 4. All right, sneezing. Okay, so let's see. Oh nope.
Is Chili gone?
No, she's still here.
She muted herself. All right, so that's
She
6.
full up.
That's 6 points of poison damage, and you are stunned until the start of your next turn.
So for 6 seconds.
Yep.
You sneeze and cough or whatever the fuck it was uncontrollably.
Is it safe?
Stupid
Barely.
We never did
fucking
anything.
otherworld germs. And I'll just go back to sleep.
Okay.
You do hear that though.
Yeah. Fucking otherworld germs. I'll wait until I'm confident that he's asleep, and then I'll slither out. Make sure the coast is clear, and then turn back into my sexy self. I don't know.
What a sexy self it is.
Yes, and then I don't know. I'll sneak back to where Arcus is, or the room, or whatever.
Oh, he's not staying here.
That's fine. I don't blame him. I'm a lot to handle. Okay.
No, it's just
That'll be my
these
night.
accommodations are nowhere near his standards.
Yeah. Well, they're not mine either, but... Alright, then that's my night.
Cool. And that is where we shall draw it to a close.
Only because I don't have the dream spell, otherwise you'd be fucked.